So we begin Chapter 4 today. Chapter 4 is Ratios and Rates. Today is 4.1, and 4.2 will be, I'll put it out in a couple days. Basic idea of ratios is, of course, we use our alpaca example. There's 3 alpacas in my herd for every 4 alpacas in your herd, and that's a ratio. And that's what we're going to be exploring. Here's the sections we have in this chapter. So 4.1, ratio is making comparisons. And I hope you guys read this because you want to read it before we go over it so you're familiar with it. So it says, in the real world, we're confronted with all kinds of statistics. Number of births, number of deaths, number of violent crimes, U.S. federal budget, median household income. List goes on and on. These statistics are all absolute numbers, meaning they are not relative or being compared to anything else. They're just simply a raw count of something. Just like you would count how much money's in your wallet. In order to make sense of these numbers, we need to put them in context by making comparisons. Now here's an example. We could compare them to the population of the U.S. and get a rate, right? Here's the rate of 62.9 births per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44. Now that's a rate, that's a comparison. This statistic, 16.9 per 1,000 women aged 15 to 44, now you can compare it across other years, across other countries, because it factors in the population size of childbearing women. Like, for example, you just can't say that there's many more babies born in the United States than, say, Canada, because, of course there are, because there's many more women. What you need to compare is the birth rate. It's also good to compare it over time, as we'll see below. So this compares the birth rate and the number of births. So the green line is the rate. Now you notice from about 1960 onward, up until even actually 2019, the birth rate has been, in general, declining, with a few little blips here and there. But in general, you can say that in around 1960, there was about 120 births per every 1,000 women aged 15 to 44. Whereas in 2015, there was 62.9 births right here for every 1,000 women aged 15 to 44. Now, even though the number have births rate has been declining, the number have births declined, but it's also that it's been inclining since. Well, how does the number of births go up as the birth rate goes down? And the answer is very simple. There's just a lot more people. The rate has gone down, but there's so many more people, especially women aged 15 to 44, than there were 30, 40 years ago. That's why the number of actual babies is going up while the rate is going down. Notice the figure, the absolute number of births started rising in the 70s, while the rate was relatively steady and even slightly declining. This illustrates the need for context. Births rose along with the population. Only looking at the rate can we get an actual read on whether women are having more babies.